Burlington, Ontario native who leads this team in assists, more than 550 of them. She gets us going and we're underway. Ball grazed the net. Immediately a powerful hit over from Fiona Rigby. Back across and Skylar George gets to it. Shot and a lot of long points expected today. Syracuse gets the first. Little touch shot into the middle of the court.
Yeah, Harris Waddy getting that first kill of the game is very telling because she has been seen as one of the top returners for the Orange. She had a season best of 8 kills on Wednesday at UVA, and she's their go-to hitter in the middle right now.
And that bested her season best 6 against Miami before that. And there's a nice block on the far side. Good start for the Orange, 2-0 up early. Just talked about Ava Palm, showing off some skills right there. Far side, good recovery. George on the back line. That one goes long. Syracuse up 3-0. Great start for the Orange. A little bit of out-of-system play there. Virginia Tech couldn't quite recover.
The one thing Syracuse struggles with often is how they start off these sets, and right now the 3-0 start is looking very promising for them moving forward in the set.
You always want a good start, and when they had success against UVA on Wednesday, it was because of those good starts as well. There's another block. Sarah Vashunkovska on the near side.
She saw it coming and she set up perfectly to not let that soft touch get over the net.
Coach Bake was adamant about the powerful ability of Virginia Tech's block and how they really have to play fast to get around it. So far, it's been Syracuse's block that's looked more powerful.
Exactly.
First point for Virginia Tech. So they get on the board. 4-1 now, but the Orange off to an early advantage, just trying to sustain that. It's Belle Patrick back to serve, the only other player on the team with more than 150 kills. Serious power. Vashunkovska looks really good. Big swing over top, puts the Orange up 5-1.
Vashunkovska on the right side, she just has a very strong arm swing. Going cross and deep is going to be a guaranteed point almost every time.
Veronica Searzant back to serve for the Orange. Another touch on it from that block up front. George in the middle, sends it long. But off of a deflection, Syracuse is going to keep the point. So this is really exactly what you want, right? Coach Bake talked about the good start, how important that is. We're seeing it firsthand. That one misses. Some quick points as well. Really up-tempo pace at the beginning of this game. Layla, in situations like that, does that kind of help you settle in because the points are going so quickly, or do you want a little bit longer points to kind of get you into the match early?
Sometimes it can get overwhelming because it's like each time you have to keep going, but with that start, it's beneficial every time. And you want that energy on your side of the court, so it's good for them.
Syracuse has the energy right now, 7-2, and scrambling point there. It was a nice save by George to get back off to it to her left side. And just a little bit of a miscommunication, but Syracuse back on attack. Top spin shot goes long. Coach Ghana, Sharotman. Virginia Tech storms back on a mini run here. 7-4 match now. Jasmine Robinson to serve. 11 kills for her against Boston College earlier this year in ACC play. In the middle, blocked down. George keeps it alive. Goes far side for Waller. And it's sent back at the net. So the Hokies all of a sudden come right back with a little bit of a run of their own. And now we've got a close first set here.
But it's almost like it's not the Hokies giving themselves points. Syracuse is just giving them free points as well. With all these mistakes, 3 mistakes back-to-back, and with that service ace right there with no communication.
Skylar George called it out pretty late there, and of course it wasn't out. See, it catches right inside that back line.
With those float serves, they drop so fast, and you have to be able to watch them to get that ball.
Set from Walgren. Sent back over and long, so now all of a sudden we're tied. Syracuse had a 7-2 advantage at one point. And a little bit of a run from Jasmine Robinson. Redshirt junior, who in her redshirt sophomore year started in just 7 games. Now she's become a feature member. She picks up a service ace.
She has a great serve, Luke. Like I said before, with that float serve, it's going to keep moving from left to right, and it's just going to drop. You have to keep your eyes on it.
Syracuse and Virginia Tech going back and forth early. We'll take a quick step aside. When we come back, got the rest of the first set here for you.
This is the ACC, where greatness isn't just a goal.
For Syracuse women's ice hockey in attendance, supporting the volleyball squad this afternoon. Her team taking on Boston University yesterday. Close game. 2-game weekend series for the Orange, and another quick point for Virginia Tech. Layla, before we went to break, you were talking about those knuckling kind of slow serves that move from left to right. It's like a knuckleball in baseball. You have no idea which way it's going to turn, and now it's turned into a 7-0 scoring run for the Hokies.
No, you don't. Virginia Tech's head coach Byers, when we were talking to her yesterday, she mentioned that serving tough is highly important. She sees Syracuse as a rhythm team, and getting them out of system is what will make Tech successful.
Well, so far her analysis has proved to be pretty true, because as soon as Virginia Tech took advantage once, and they went on an 8-0 run, and that ends it. So it's 10-8 now. Syracuse was ahead 7-2 at one point.
Serving was obviously something they were working on in the gym before coming to the women's building, Luke.
Talked about how important the service game was for both these coaches. Ava Palm back to serve now on the far side. A shot over top from Malinowski. Back line set up to Pierce. In the middle, Palm knocks it down. That's what we weren't seeing a moment ago.
No, like I said before, she's so versatile. The way she was able to get in between all 6 of those hands that were up on her attack, she's talented for sure, and they need to keep feeding her the ball.
They want to take advantage while she's serving, too. In the middle, Malinowski. Palm keeps it alive, set to the far side. Skylar George put some backspin on it toward the top line, kept alive. Pierce. Palm in the middle. Similar attack, it works out again, and we're back knotted at 10. Both teams in double digits in this first set. Went over top that block, and Ava Palm right in the middle of the court again, so she gets back into that same role. Pretty impressive to see the way Skylar George moving around. Really active in the center of the court as well. Here she is on the far side. Sends one over a block. In the middle, and it's caught on the near line.
It's a smart location for an attack. When you put the ball on the setter, typically it's either a point or you get another team out of system, and they were able to score off Searson in that moment right there.
And Drew Syracuse all over the one side of the court and had that left side open. Did a really good job to take advantage. Erica Daleski in now to serve, the freshman. So many freshmen on this Virginia Tech team. And when we spoke late last night with Marcy Byers, she talked about in a few years, she's going to be saying, oh, I've got a bunch of experienced players that don't need to be coached up much. I kind of let them handle things, but right now, she's got a young group that she kind of has to maybe sometimes instill some values in them and kind of make sure that they're understanding what it's like to play day-to-day in the ACC.
Yeah, there's always pros and cons with having a young team. When you have a young team, you're able to be with them for several years and get them to where you want to be, but then also, they're not that experienced, you know, so it can be a struggle sometimes with figuring out what you're doing in the game.
So tied at 11 after both teams go on mini runs to start. A block on the far side. In the middle, kept alive by Schlichter. There's Palm again. Pierce sent it back and it's out. Syracuse gets the point off of an error.
Looks like the Hokies are trying to challenge that and telling their coach to pull that green card. And it is pulled.
It was close, yeah, so it looks like we might see a challenge here. Virginia Tech is going to challenge the position of the ball, going to say that they're claiming that it was in. The call on the floor was that it was out.
Nope, nope.
We have CRS failure. Point to Syracuse. Virginia Tech will get their challenge back.
Oh, I think there's a technical failure, so.
That's what it sounds like, CRS failure. So it seems like the challenge is going to be canceled out because there was not conclusive video evidence. They took a long time to look at it, but
yeah.
no result.
Keep her challenge card, so maybe it is a win a little bit.
Yeah, both teams still have 2 challenges. They're not going to take away a challenge when the video system failed. So we'll get going again here. Greatest Schlichter to serve. Sophomore libero sends it over. The far side, here's Haley Pierce off a block. She gets the point, and we're knotted right back up at 12 anyway. So Syracuse doesn't capitalize on the momentum that they might have gained from winning that last point, and serve goes back to Virginia Tech. George, a powerful swing, but it goes straight into the block of the Hokies. And there's that powerful block that we talked about.
George got blocked in that moment right there because she hit too low into the hands. She needed to use the hands and go over the block, but she just wasn't able to, and they were there at the perfect timing, pressed over the net.
Palm gets backed up, Harris Waddy in the middle. Near side, that one's long. On the swing from Bell Patrick. Heads out, goes back to Syracuse. Mira Liedermüller to serve for the Orange. Off a deflection, stays in. Virginia Tech retakes the lead, 14-13.
Middle attacks are so quick, Luke. You have to be able to watch your middle to see if they're going to be staying in front of the setter or behind the setter. And right then, Harris Waddy just wasn't able to fully see that the middle was going behind.
There's another one of those slow serves. That time it goes in on the far side. Fantastic attack.
That was such a smart attack. She saw that there was nobody in the 4 spot on the court, and she hit a very sharp cross shot, and no one was there.
Yeah, some serious side spin on that one. Skylar George's serve goes long. An unforced error for the Orange.
And up to serve for the Hokies. It's Victoria Walter, number 2.
It looks like they're going point for point, Luke. Like, they are so close in score right now.
Really, no team outside of those early points has been able to go on much of a run, and that one goes long, and it goes right back to Syracuse. So you get back-to-back service errors, almost matching each other blow for blow. That one was from Victoria Walgren.
Harris Waddy's up to serve right now, and she has had a killer serve so far this season. She's been getting aces for her team, and she's been on the stat board when it comes to serve as a middle.
She gets the block there. Ava Palm on the far side after Harris Waddy's serve.
That was a brick wall right there. Nothing was getting past her in that moment.
See if Harris Waddy can get one of the first runs since the opening points of this set. In the middle. That one touches down. And we stay knotted at 16.
That's Pierce's second kill so far in this set. She's starting early.
Freshman Bell Patrick to serve, who had more than 1,300 kills in her high school career before she got here. Nice dig in the middle from George, and unfortunately Syracuse can't capitalize on the point for her.
It was a smart choice to make. She just couldn't keep that ball in the court.
Another serve from Patrick. On the far side is Palm, and it's blocked down, but out of bounds. We go right back, 17s. Really distributing the wealth right now. Ava Palm with 3 kills. That leads Syracuse pretty well spread out at the moment. 2 for Skylar George. 2 for Sarah Vashenkovska. Near side, Pierce. It's blocked back over. Now here's Palm on the far side. That one got a deflection, and Syracuse retakes the lead for the first time since we've been in double digits.
Palm is a really talented attacker with knowing when to see the hands of the blocker and using them to score points, because when they go off the blocker's hands, sometimes they just ricochet anywhere and you're just not able to get them.
Palm, you haven't heard already, was at CSU Bakersfield last season and goes from Bakersfield to arguably one of the best conferences in the country. And she's looked right at home in ACC play. 20 kills against UVA on Wednesday. Some pretty crazy numbers.
It's definitely an adjustment, but she's made it work, and she does seem right at home here at Syracuse.
In the middle, finesse shot. Brought over top, kept alive by Waldron. Another one, splits everyone and lands right in the middle of the court. Sarah Malinowski, great job to just put it where they aren't. Another error though. I see you shaking your head right now. It's gotta be frustrating to watch. Frustrating for the coaching staffs, I'm sure. Not the way that you want to score points.
Not at all. Those are free points.
In the middle, off a block. Syracuse can't keep it alive, and it's Virginia Tech who's first to 20. Wouldn't have predicted that when we started things with a 7-2 Syracuse lead. Erica Daleski to serve now. There's George with a powerful swing. She brings it back to 20 apiece. So these two teams, similar in record. Syracuse, of course, the great non-conference slate, which has them with a winning record 12-9 coming in on the season. But right now, they are matching each other blow for blow. It doesn't look like it could be much more even. Saraswati sends it back over. On the far side, Pierce got a deflection. Virginia Tech back on top.
They're looking for her on the court to make it happen. With the score so crunch and tight right now, Pierce is their go-to attacker when she's on the floor, either back row or front row.
She's up to more than 200 kills now on the season. In the middle. One came to the near side. Palm sets it up. A swing and a great dig. Daleski gets down and makes it happen. Harris Waddy in the middle. She wins the point, and this back and forth affair rolls on. The athleticism from Daleski.
Teams love those free ball points. She was able to pass her own ball, get set, and get a kill off of that set.
Doing it all. Syracuse wants to just hang on to its serve now. Just a few points to go. George sends it back up, but it was within reach of Jordan Hallman. She tapped it right back down.
That was just a lack of communication right there. No one knew who to get it next. Too tight to the net, and no one was able to get it.
So Virginia Tech a 1-point advantage. Only need 3 to close it out in this first set. Saraswati on the far side. Wahlgren keeps it in, and for what seems like the first time in forever, a 2-point lead for one of these teams.
Those deep corner shots are what is heavily affecting the Orange right now, because Virginia Tech is steadily going to that back corner, and it's successful. I mean, no one's there. It's hard to get those deep shots, and it's working.
Take a look at how the season has gone for the Orange. It was, of course, a fantastic start with the 12-0 conference slate, non-conference slate, I should say. And then since the ACC began, 0-9, still looking for that first win, and 31 straight losses in the ACC after a really tough campaign last season that was filled with injuries, but a lot of turnover as well. You look at that first bullet point, 3 freshmen, 9 returners, and a lot of those players are getting a lot of time.
100%. You know, last year they had most of their players were injured, so this season is completely different, and we have transfers coming in. Also, the ACC is like the best conference right now in the country, so yes, they had a successful preseason turnout, but when it comes to the ACC play, it's a different ball game, and you're playing much bigger teams with much bigger hitters. It's
a different animal. You have to be prepared to really shift your game over for ACC play. Of course, the Big Ten, another fantastic volleyball conference, but right now, if you look at the #1 team in the land, Pitt, of course, featuring in the ACC, and it looks like they're on their way to back-to-back ACC titles. And Pitt was here not too long ago.
Honestly, I think I see Pitt possibly winning the national championship this year, Luke. Or if it's not them, it's going to be someone from the ACC.
They've challenged for it in the last few years. A ton of Final Fours, and they've really been the talk of women's volleyball this season. A couple of substitutions for the Orange. Ashley not on. Another one of the freshmen. So many freshmen on the court between Virginia Tech and Syracuse right now. Grad student, though, Leandra Manguel Duran to serve. Far side, Skylar George. Sent back over. In the middle, Paul knocks it down. Oh, conflicting calls.
He just barely went out. He's right on the line almost.
Well, our line judge on the Virginia Tech side of the court had his flag signaled down. George, a top spin shot into the middle. And then a powerful swing brings it right back. And there's Haley Pierce doing what she does best, and Virginia Tech finishes. The red shirt who transferred over from Utah. Played a key role this season, and she knocks it into the net to start. So those unforced errors that we talked about show right up to start set 2.
It's not the best way to want to start a set, but you have to just look past that and keep on pushing.
Bell Patrick serves for the Hokies. Backside, kept alive in the middle by Walgren. And here's Pierce, rifles it over. George can only get an arm to it. And Virginia Tech up 2-0. Pierce up to 6 kills, leads everybody in this match. Palm back into the middle, and it's kept alive by Naw. There's Palm again. We can hear that one from over here.
Oh yeah, that was loud. Palm went right in between those hands and found the seam to score. It seemed like there was almost no block on her. It was a big old gap, and she found it.
A perfect placement for Ava Palm. Middle, that time it was Jasmine Robinson, but an error at the net, and Syracuse holds on to the point. Greta Schlichter back to serve for a second straight time. You have to think that the message in the huddle for both teams is really just to hang on to some more momentum throughout the set here in set 2. Pushed over top. Schlichter dives to the court. Palm again. Off of the block. Here's an extended rally. Pierce, and it drops. Haley Pierce is taking over this game right now for Virginia Tech offensively.
Yeah, she is using those hands. And no one on the Syracuse side was able to get that ball. That's one thing that Coach Gunnar-Stradham said, was that the off-blocker defense is really important that they have to work on. And as you can see, Tech was able to score off of no defenders there.
Harris Waddy just missed it. So Robinson continues to serve. She had 7 service aces against Ryder this year. That is, of course, non-conference, but still a pretty impressive number.
And during the first set here, she was able to have a long run of serves that gave Orange some trouble.
Well, there's some good placement from Harris Waddy on the near side. Puts it right in the corner. And that's a big point for the Orange, who are maybe fighting a little bit of momentum going against them here to start this second set. Lita Mueller serve. Knocked down. Pierce denied that time. Back to 4 apiece. Shot into the middle. Malinowski. There's George. Blocked down. Harris Waddy again. she's made a real impact, and maybe not necessarily stuffing the stat sheet today, but certainly been one of the most impactful players on the court for SU.
She is. I mean, her head coach says that she's one of the hungriest players on the court. She shows that when she shows up in practices and produces that in games. She's a great job for her team.
And they're just an unforced error. Virginia Tech can't handle the serve. And now the Orange jumping on the Hokies a little bit, something that we didn't really see after the beginning of that first set. Virginia Tech sets up the attack. There's Pierce doing what she's done all day, and Palm does the exact same. Boy, it's a battle of these two hitters on the outside, and
look at the way she just has that attack go hard cross. It's wonderful, honestly. It's all about the motion in the wrist and the hands. When you put that thumb down, it goes exactly where you want it to go each time.
Whatever she's doing it pretty much perfectly at the moment. Miscommunication. Syracuse gets out of system and loses the point. Supposed to be Harris Waddy in the middle, and the timing just didn't really work out. She had to scramble, tried to keep it alive with a little bit of an underhand tap, but Virginia Tech takes advantage on the error. Regains the serve here now for Erica Daleski. Her serve is long. Ava Palm now to serve. It's pretty crazy as well because she planned on originally being a beach volleyball player. Of course, being from California, that's too uncommon, but certainly pretty happy that she stuck with indoor because she's been lighting it up in the best conference in the country. There's a great block.
Out-of-system attacks are one of the most, like, the favorite things to block because you can see where it's going. It's a slower set, and you're able to position yourself perfectly in the right position to block the ball.
Another close call on the back line, and immediately Harris Waddy was pointing to the floor, and I think, yeah, Coach Ganesh Rotman is going to challenge this call.
They were so passionate about saying that ball was in on their side of the net.
She was pointing to the ground.
Call on the court was the ball was out, point to Virginia Tech. Syracuse is challenging the ball was in.
From what I saw in real time, Luke, that ball looked in to me.
I thought it was in as well. A little bit more clear than the last one that was super close. We got a couple of looks at it. This is a perfect look here, right on the line. Looks like it got a piece.
It did, 100%.
Yeah. Looks like it stayed in there. Looks like we got the frame right before and right after it skips in the line, but you can see where it bounces. And it certainly looks like it's going to be overturned and go towards Syracuse here.
But then it just seems like there's like a millisecond missing from this. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just the spot in between frames. We get right before it bounces, right after it bounces. But if you see where it kicks up off the ground, I don't think it could have bounced outside the line and bounced that high by the time we see it out. Yeah. So I think this one's going to go towards Syracuse. We'll have to wait and see. Get another look at the floating serve.
Oh, that's a hard angle right there. Oh, no, this is a good one. That ball was in for sure.
Yeah, clear as day to us. Looks like it was right on the line. So Harris Waddy wasn't wrong when she was pointing down to the ground.
She literally knelt down to the ground and put her finger on the ground to say that was it.
Yeah, it looks pretty clear cut there.
100%.
See how much longer it takes for us to get a call here. Steven Webster on the replay review again. He's got the headset on right now, and Syracuse up in the huddle. Go over to confirm the call. And here is Webster with the call.
Call will be reversed. Ball was in. Point to Syracuse. Syracuse retains its challenge.
So Syracuse, a good challenge for Coach Bake. The Orange hold on to some momentum and have a 5-point lead in this second set. We could have a bit of an odyssey going on today if these teams trade sets. SU coming off of a 5-setter against UVA as well.
They're prepared for whatever, and I think Tech is as well.
In the middle, the kill for Belle Patrick. She's closing in on 200 kills for the season as well. That's just her second today. Just a few shy of 190. Backside, and just out. Vashakovska couldn't keep it on the line. Haley Pierce to serve again. No one else you want back there, trying to win back some points with a 5-point deficit. She's already got 2. Harris Waddy continues her dominant day.
I really think that this game, she's going to top her season high again. She had 8 against UVA. I think right now she has about 3 or 4 kills already, and we're in the second set. So it'll be interesting to see what she does.
She's at 4 right now, and that a great start. She's got a chance for an ace here, too. Quick strike from the Hokies. Jasmine Robinson checking back in.
Watching Robinson so far, it's quite fun to watch, honestly. She has such a quick attack and arm swing that she really can score points if she keeps getting fed the ball.
On the far side, Vashakovska can't keep it in. Oh, they're challenging a deflection here.
A touch? Yeah, those are one of the...
Ball was out. Point to Virginia Tech. Syracuse is challenging a touch.
So, most telltale sign is if the ball changes spin at all, and then you kind of know that someone got a finger on it, but I didn't notice anything in real time. It's like we'll get another look at it, and another video review here in this second set, which slowing down things a little bit. Virginia Tech, it's maybe more of a detriment to them. Here's a look. Oh, it looks like it definitely got a piece of her left hand.
Yeah, you could also see in the movement of the fingers or the hand as well.
Yeah.
And in this case, it looks like it got her left hand for sure.
Yeah, it looks like it bends back one of the fingers on her left hand and changes spin a little bit. And pretty obvious why Coach Bake was so quick to pull out the card. I think he had the card out before the ball hit the ground.
Wait, I don't know, Luke. With this close-up right here, I don't know if I'm seeing... I mean, possibly. Okay, maybe. But I don't know. It doesn't look as obvious compared to the other angle.
I'll agree with you. The other angle made it look a little bit more clear-cut, but still looks like it gets a touch on her finger all the way through there.
Yeah, you can see at the top, it bends back a little bit. I think it was a touch.
This one from the other side of the court. Get a really good look at it here. Now I think that Coach Bake's gonna win another challenge here.
You could just see her. You see that little finger right there?
Right in the top of your screen. Hey, we need the telestrator right now. You could draw on the screen. That would be perfect. I'll wait for another review here. Both teams are staying pretty loose. We're getting some dancing going on the Virginia Tech side.
These typically are like one of the longest challenge calls when it comes to touches because it's so hard to tell.
Yeah, they want to make sure that they get it absolutely right.
Oh, looks like this one might be quick.
They confirm the call, and here's the announcement.
Call will stand as called. Point, Virginia Tech.
So they say no touch.
Wow.
Syracuse going to lose a challenge, so the Orange have just one now. Coach Bake, not super pleased about that. He kind of just put his hands up to his face. Leandra Mangual Duran to serve for Virginia Tech. Here's George. Nice swing. Puts it right on the line.
Those are one of those balls, and when I played volleyball, I used to always say the ball never lies. When you get a point after getting a call, you didn't get the correct call and you score, the ball never lies.
So a 3-point lead for the Orange, about halfway through this second set. In the middle. Another attack from George, and the Hokies get a touch.
That was really smart. That was a very tight set right there, and it was close to the net. She used the attacker's right hand to swipe the ball and score.
Ashley Naw's serve over. In the middle, Dulesky. On the far side, it was Patrick. And another point for the Orange. So Syracuse gave up a 5-point lead. Now they've got it back. And up to 7 kills for Ava Palm. Onto the near side and straight into the net. Walgren couldn't get it over. 15-9. A little bit of a run for the Orange. Trying to steal away this second set. Down 1-0. And a timeout. Syracuse on a run. 6-point lead on Virginia Tech. We'll be right back here on ACC Network Extra. A couple of the members of the Syracuse women's basketball team here in attendance. Sophie Burrows, Georgia Woolley, both been feature players over the last few seasons, and they've got their season getting underway starting in November, but they've got an exhibition game on Tuesday against Damon. You can catch that right here on ACC Network Extra.
I'll be there for sure.
Women's basketball team went to the NCAA tournament last season, lost to UConn, who of course went on an incredible run after that. It's a tough draw when you've got to play a team like UConn early on in the tournament. The Orange, of course, lose the Asia Fair, but going for another season of dominance in the ACC. Sliding save, the Orange get another point.
Right now, Syracuse is just playing a cleaner game. They're not really making much mistakes. They're serving very well, and it's benefiting them right now.
Yeah, see less of those unforced errors, and what it's doing is making Virginia Tech take another timeout. Ava Palm has been great so far. The 8 kills pacing the Orange. Take a look at some of the stuff that she's done so far today. Been dominant as ever. She had 20 against UVA. She's been right back at it today.
Blockers do not stop her from swinging hard. She does a great job of using the hands and hitting off of the fingers of the blockers and scoring each time.
See some of the side spin on that last one. It is crazy awareness. Well, she's up there to hit it like that, and certainly right now, a large part of why Syracuse has an 8-point lead in this second set. Trying to close things out here.
That's simply called volleyball IQ. She sees what the other court has going on, and she's going to attack the areas that she knows no one is there. She's a smart attacker for sure.
She's back out there. Syracuse trying to roll through these stoppages. We've had a lot of them. 2 challenges, 2 timeouts in this second set. And somehow, SU's been able to hold on to that momentum pretty much the whole way throughout. It was Virginia Tech clawing back a little bit at one point. But now the Orange have gone on a secondary run.
I think this has been their biggest lead that they've ever had all season in ACC play. And they're looking pretty good. They look confident on the court, and they just have to keep it up to be the first to get to 25.
Well, when you take a the Virginia team that's receiving votes all the way to 5 sets, it has to do something for your confidence. And maybe we're seeing the product of that today as they settle in more in this second set. Point for Virginia Tech, and we might get a ball coming over to us here.
They called Mueller on a double. With the new rule in volleyball, you could start having the ball spin, but when you have to put the ball over the net, it cannot be a double. It has to be a clean set each time, and she just wasn't able to make it clean.
Victoria Walgren sends one long, and Syracuse gets the point right back. So you miss a point on a set, and then you get it right back on an unforced error. That's one of the things Syracuse has been doing less of in this second set, still taking advantage of VT's mistakes. Skylar George to serve. Off to the far side, here's Patrick. Caught a deflection. So it's Virginia Tech's point.
Sydney Moore is adamant that she did not touch that ball.
Yeah, and so is Coach Bake. He's got another challenge card out. So this will be our 3rd challenge in this set. And this is the last challenge for Syracuse as well if they don't win it.
Ball was out, point Virginia Tech. Excuse me, ball was touched, point to Virginia Tech. Syracuse is challenging, the ball was out.
I know he's hoping to probably keep that challenge card.
Yeah, and of course, you talked about last time how these challenges can be the longest ones. And it's pretty tough. I mean, it seemed like the video evidence was pretty conclusive last time, and the call stood. So going to be tough to overturn this one, but Coach Bake is saying that he's pretty adamant that the ball was out here. So Syracuse trying to hang on, pick up another point, get that much closer.
I don't see a touch.
Well,
these are also going to be hard because typically the players, you're not going to lie to your coach about if you touched it or not because the coach has to use that challenge. So if Sydney Moore was adamant that she didn't touch it, I believe she didn't touch it. It's just about proving that she didn't touch it, and that might be the hard part about this.
yeah, it's almost a mental game. You're probably not going to consider that in your decision as the official, but at the same time, it's maybe if you can call a really good bluff.
Yeah, if we look, I don't think she touched it at all.
Doesn't look like it. It looks like it maybe got almost to the left-hand side of her right hand.
There's no movement in the ball, no movement in her fingers. I don't think she touched it at all. Yeah, no, it went right over her.
Yeah, if anything, it caught a piece of her right hand. It looks on this angle like it got by. So seems like we might have another call overturned, but I will say we are 1 for 2 so far in the booth. So we can't guarantee it until we know for sure. And now here's the call.
Call will be reversed. Ball was out. Point to Syracuse.
And she wasn't lying.
She wasn't.
She knew that it didn't touch and told her coach she got the challenge card out. This time it works out.
Situations like that, Luke, you really can't lie because a challenge card is important. You don't want to lose those. So
and maybe they should credit Coach Bake with a kill. the way that he's produced for his team in this second set with the challenges. Patrick's swing is blocked, and now a double-digit lead for the Orange. Skylar George, a chance to essentially put a bow on this set. On the near side, it's Patrick. There's Schleider, and Palm is blocked down.
Those are one of those balls right there where someone has to be under Palm defending her and being able to receive those balls if she does get blocked. That was one of the easiest balls, I think, possibly to get and pass.
Kind of a soft ball off the block as well, but couldn't keep it alive. Here's Palm again, and she's stuffed again. That time a little bit more aggressive.
That's the off-blocker defense right there that has to be picked up and improved a little bit going into the next set, because Tech does have a decent block.
Well, that one doesn't stay in. Another block. 3 straight blocks from Virginia Tech. That one just dropped outside the white line. And Greta Schlichter gets another chance to serve. 21-12. 9-point lead for the Orange. Right over top, Harris Waddy puts it down. Back to double digits, and 3 away from knotting things at 1.
It was a great overpass kill right there. She knew where to place it, and she did it. Scored for her team.
There's Pierce. Right back into the middle, George. Blocked down. And Virginia Tech comes away with the point. Jasmine Robinson. Back to serve. She swats one low. And now Syracuse just 2 away. I think they awarded the point to the wrong side on the scoreboard there.
And Mira Mueller, number 19, serving.
There they go. They figured it out. In the middle, over to the near side, Palm again. Powerful swing is blocked down. Harris Waddy in the middle, kept alive. Right back over top, and off a touch. Malinowski finishes it off. She's got a kill. A longer rally there.
Just dropped right in front of the defenders, in between the hands, and ricocheted off the blocker's hands.
We haven't seen as many of these long rallies. Been a lot of quick points. Washakovska. Here's Pierce. On the far side, Palm. Balloons it way up into the air. 1 point away for the Orange from a set 2 win. And who but Ava Palm to finish it off.
A great added system serve from Palm. Got them the ball back.
And that one goes just long, so Syracuse will have to wait at least 1 more point. With Haley Pierce serving, never an easy task. And a diving attempt. Couldn't get underneath it.
It's a great ace. That ball just dropped, and they couldn't run it down.
So Pierce, another chance to keep Virginia Tech alive. Syracuse in system this time. George goes to the near side down line. Miscommunication in front. The Orange finish it off. All knotted at 1 after.
He can take this match.
Virginia Tech to start the serve in the 3rd set. Victoria Wahlgren sends it over and immediately picks up a point for the Hokies. Just a good serve. Syracuse couldn't really handle it. Picks up her first ace of the game.
That's a strong one. It was high on the shoulders, and she wasn't able to get around the ball to pass it.
It was not who had to quickly adjust. And Nikolnikova, who we just talked about, on the near side now. George in the middle and a miss hit. So back to Wahlgren, a 2-0 lead early for VT. Floater Off to Palm, into the net. Virginia Tech up 3-0.
These are early unforced errors, Luke, in the set, and they have to clean that up starting now.
We saw the miss hit a moment ago from Skylar George in the middle. And there's an unforced error on the other side that leads to a Syracuse point. Serve straight into the net. Zari Harris-Waddy back in. Greta Schlichter to serve first for the Cuse. In the middle, Harris-Waddy turned away. Over to Palm. Middle again. Blocked down. She's fired up. You have to love the energy.
She is. She stayed on her hitter. She saw what she was trying to do, and she was up there with the block.
Look at the celebration.
Tapping that head.
Soft serve from Schlichter. Set in the middle. Palm, a powerful swing. Comes over. And VT hangs on.
She almost had the attacker used her right hand to tool her, and it just went to the side and out. If she was pressed over just a little bit more, she would have had it.
Serve from the near side for Patrick. Virginia Tech takes it again. Another quick point. And an early lead for the Hokies. Those early set points have proved crucial. You see the way Virginia Tech stormed back in that first set. But in the set before that, with Syracuse, or set after that, I should say, it was Syracuse who stormed back. The Orange get a point right there. And Mira Liedermuller to serve. Splits everyone perfectly. Nikki Schimau checks in for the first time today. Grad student from Honolulu, had 23 digs going into Wednesday's game in her last two. One just outside the back line, tried to put it in the corner. Virginia Tech continues to roll in the early going here.
Most of Virginia Tech's points right now is errors from Syracuse's side. So that's why there's a small little gap right now and why they're up.
Haven't seen many kills on the Virginia Tech side so far. They haven't needed it. There's one from Harris-Waddy again.
And Ava Palm, number 6, up to serve for the Orange.
Ava Palm back to serve. It's brought up by Pierce. Right back to her. Toward that back line. Here's George. Finesse shot with some backspin on it into the middle. Kept alive again. Brought down. Syracuse still in. Pierce. Right back over. Kept alive. Into the middle of the court. Schlichter, backside. George. She sends it out. No touch, so it's a Tech point. And an 8-4 lead for VT.
That was a fun rally to watch right there. That hard, strong attack down the line. And Mueller was able to pick that up and bring it back over. This is a great rally back and forth.
It's good awareness on both sides of the ball. Set for Washakovska. She slams it down. Brings it back to a 3-point deficit. Harris-Waddy's turn to serve now. In the middle, near side. Sent right over. And a Virginia Tech point off a violation.
Number 3.
A little bit of taunting from the Virginia Tech bench.
What they're saying is you can't do that. That was a net violation that you cannot do. They are right.
In the middle, missed-time jump from the Kolnikova. There's another one of those unforced errors. So it's not an immediate fix. It's a long-term battle, and we saw flashes of how good the Orange could be offensively if they sort those things out. Right now, plaguing them early in this third set.
Something that has to be nipped in the bud right now. The lack of communication is what we're seeing right now. We just saw a setter-hitter miss, and then now we're seeing a lack of communication where who's going for the ball. So
Syracuse struggling a little bit with some communication. The Orange down 6 in this third set. We'll step aside for a moment on ACC Network Extra.
Insanity.
Welcome back to the women's building. Some scores around the rest of the ACC. A top 15 battle in Dallas. SMU and Louisville locked in a tight one.
yeah, that's going to be a great match for sure. SMU, new to the ACC conference, has been showing that they belong here. And Louisville, number 4, has done a great job this season so far. Only has 1 loss, which is Pitt. So it will be interesting to see who comes out with that win.
And the strength of the ACC in its numbers, but also in its quality. Got plenty of teams in the rankings, but a lot of them ranked highly. There's Syracuse bouncing back with a much-needed point out of the timeout. So Coach Bake's message gets over, and they win a clean point as well.
From what I see so far, they already look kind of amped up and ready to go. But Skylar getting that block just now, she is excited, and she's ready to put points back on the board for her team.
Goes right back to the Tech side. Skylar George, a native of Texas, from Houston, just down the road from SMU. Leandra Mingwall-Durant to serve. Off a block. There's Nakonakova on the near side.
Nakonakova does a great job on that slide and going behind the setter. She's very efficient when it comes to that slide, and she was able to use the blocker's hands and tool them and get that point.
Really big frame, 6'4" junior. You heard a little bit of her story with Nico, transferred over from JUCO College, Southern Idaho. That one was wide of the line. Syracuse gets the point, and the Orange bring you a little bit closer. George to serve. Drilled into the ground. Really powerful swing from Belpatrick.
It was. It seems like Nakonakova didn't know where to go on that ball, and there was just an open seam for the attacker to score. Put the ball straight down.
And George was kind of caught in no man's land right there, in between steps. He couldn't really dive forward for it, but she couldn't go backwards either.
Yeah, that was a hard one for sure.
On the far side, it's Palm. Comes back over. And Virginia Tech wins the point off of a touch.
You can hear the power going behind these swings.
You really can.
When they touch the blocker's hands, it's just a loud sound. in the gym.
One of the cool things about how close we are right now, she gets to be right here. And you understand what it's like speed-wise out there. There's another one from the Kolnikova.
Honestly, to me, slides are one of the hardest things to block because the attacker could put it anywhere, and she was able to get it right in between the blocker's arms. They couldn't stop her.
Spread them out, and like you said, she went right down the middle. Set for ball. Placement is perfect. SU in the double digits in the third set.
Those deep corner shots often do so well. Sometimes teams expect you to go straight down in the middle of the court, but no one is in the back court, and Ava does a great job placing it deep.
The Orange down 5 midway through this third set. Patrick to serve. Off to the far side. Palm was blocked away, and there's the return from Robinson.
Robinson got the block and was able to get that overpass kill. Back-to-back plays for Robinson.
Really did it all. One-man band on that point. There's George. Sends it long.
I like that term, one-man band. I like that.
That serve goes long.
And number 19, Mara Mueller serving for the Orange.
Lita Mueller to serve. And she thought that was wide. Catches right on the line. Virginia Tech running rampant a little bit here toward the end of the third set. These teams might be trading.
And number 13,
Right on the right side of Mueller. On the line as well.
In the middle, Haraswati gets one back. She's been like the spark plug almost every single time Syracuse is struggling for momentum. She comes up with a big play.
This is how it was last game against Virginia. They look for her on the court to give her the ball. Right now, she's at 7 kills. Her season high is 8 kills. She just needs 2 more to potentially beat her season high from last week.
And we're going to have at least one more set. So I'd say there's a pretty good chance that we're going to see that today.
Oh, yeah, I think she's going to do it, Luke.
It's been solid all day long. Just trying to snatch back momentum in a close one. Pierce blocked down. Looped over. In the middle. Set for Washakovska. She finishes it off. Syracuse has been in this range a lot in this set, trailing by about 3 or 4 points. And then it's been the next ones that have been a struggle. Just consistently avoiding those unforced errors. On serve. Off to the far side. In the middle, Haraswati. Good play from the libero, Mangual Duran. And now she sets it up for Pierce. Forward with it, George. Washakovska. Marathon goes on. Set from the far side. Kept alive nicely by Palm. Again, Washakovska.
This is a long rally right
Back
now.
and forth. George. There it is. It's Skylar George to finish it off. Back and forth all day long. And plenty of power, but it ends up being more of a finesse shot.
Yeah, sometimes you do not need a big old swing to score a point. You could just place it in the right spot, and that's just the same as a big kill. A point is a point. And George did a great job with that tip in the middle of the court.
Really the epitome of that right there. In that point, you can see her laughing on the bench, happy to come away with it. And the Orange on a 4-0 run. One of the first times that we've seen that since that first set when they went up 7-2. Syracuse, just about a month left in the ACC, but that does not mean there's any shortage of games. And we'll have all of them here for you on ACC Network Extra. NC State and Wake Forest on the road, and then Syracuse comes back with a real tough task. They've got 2 top 20 teams.
Yeah, that Louisville game will be interesting for sure, just to see how they play and what they do with number 4 ranked Louisville, and that'll be right here, like you said, at home. So hopefully fans come out and just support them and cheer them on, and they could get that W.
We talked to Coach Byers yesterday. She talked to us a lot about how Virginia Tech got here very early in the week, and they've actually done 2 yoga sessions. Try and just prepare your body for the demands of this last month of the season, how tough that is. It's just about maybe dialing back the practices a little bit. At this point of the season, everyone understands what the expectation is, so it's really more about execution on the court, just taking care of your body, making sure that you can hold up down the stretch. I mean, you saw the schedule right there. It's like 3 games in a week. You got November 1st, November 3rd, November 8th. And things really start to pile up quick, and you're playing these big and physical teams, but everyone's going through it. That was another thing that she wanted to add on. You know, it's not just us. We know that every team's battling through this. And sometimes it's a battle of who can handle it the best.
Who comes out on top when you are struggling or hurting? Who pushes through?
Ava Palm is trying to push her way back into this set. Her serve from the back line, drifts over, and it's kept up by Belle Patrick on the far side. Here's George, and she got a piece in the net on the way down. Swung through that one maybe a little bit too hard.
I think that set was just a little too wide because she was able to chip a little bit of the antenna, and the ball was called out. It was a wide set for sure.
There's another point for Syracuse. It draws within 2. Closest it's been since we began this set. Virginia Tech got off to a 2-0 lead. It hasn't been that close since. Flipped up near side and off the arm of Harris Waddy. That's what gets VT to 20.
She'll serve next for the Hokies.
Haley Pierce to serve. Dribbles on the net, and an unlucky break for the Orange, who just got over, but that can prove to be pretty important.
Those are one of the worst ways to get aced on, is a ball that trickles over the net. Because it's like no one's typically going to be there, and it just scores almost every time.
Waszykovska gets one back. The Orange fighting an uphill battle toward the end of this 3rd set, but they have a chance.
She's been using the hands all day today, and it looks like it was almost like a weird kind of attacking. She laughed after she came down because it seems like she didn't fully put force into it, but she was still able to find a way to score.
Patrick. And sends it right up to one of the guys on our camera crew. Just missed, though, on the low side of the camera. Got some Warriors up there. Engwall Duran's serve is low and out. A little bit of a miss hit there, maybe. And now it's Skylar George. Middle of the court, set by Dulesky and slammed down by Patrick.
Patrick, her arm swing is just so powerful. She's able to break through that block each time and get around it. Defenders just can't pick up her attacks.
And she's versatile too. Really good defender. We've seen her make a lot of nice plays on the defensive side.
Yeah.
And then she kind of bounces right back and brings the offense. Makes her one of the most valuable players on this team. Another point for Syracuse. drawing ever closer, kind of just hanging in, but they're running out of time.
When you get free points like that, it almost gives them an advantage because it just makes the job easier. You don't have to do anything, and a missed serve is a free point for Syracuse.
Schlichter off to the near side. It grazed the net on the way through. Here's Palm. Can't finish it. One away for Virginia Tech, and Coach Bake wants a timeout. So the Orange trying to scheme something up. They're going to need a couple of points in a row here.
I mean, right now, I feel like what they're talking about would be how can we find a way to pick up this ball and have a great pass to get a great set, to either set that to Palm or Harris Waddy. They're both in the front row right now, and they're both go-to hitters. So giving the ball to one of them could be successful for them to make it 24-21.
Yeah, both players as well have had great afternoons. They have the hot hand. So try and see what you can do to get it to your best players. Let them make a play. But Syracuse is going to need to string together several points in a row here to stay alive.
Yeah, Luke, and that all starts off with one good pass. I mean, when you serve, receive, and get a great pass, you're able to get a great set and a great attack. So coming out of this timeout, a pass is all they need to be able to run their offense.
Looking for one. Syracuse desperate for one win in the ACC. Today, a great chance for it. And they've been close. That second set looked really good.
They want it, and you could tell they want it.
Seen the energy really all day. There's Ava Palm talking to Harris Waddy, the two that are going to have to do the work to get the Orange back into this set. But no room for mistakes.
None.
You go into that third set, it would be Syracuse to start the serve if we went into the fourth. So Bell Patrick to serve. Loops one over. In the middle, far side Palm. Step one.
We called it, Luke. It was going to go to either Palm or Harris Waddy, and that was an out-of-system ball right there, so the only option would be Palm, and she was able to deliver and get a point.
There's the power from the go-to player for the Orange. Knocked Mangual Duran backwards.
It was a high attack.
Yeah, Mueller now. In the middle, it's set by Walgren, kept alive by George. Out to the far side for Palm again, and that does it. There's the powerful block, making its presence felt. 25-21, Virginia Tech. Just those out-of-system mistakes that have been really prevalent on both sides, and it seems like Virginia Tech's been able to come away with the battle of attrition most of the time today. And there's one off the net and immediately out of system for the Hokies.
This free ball right here, they need to capitalize off and get a kill.
Kolikova couldn't capitalize. Here's Palm, and doesn't come through. Very rare occurrence to see Palm go wide. Bell Patrick. Kolikova right on the line.
Like I said before, she's so successful on that slide attack, and she was able to put the ball in front of the 10-foot line. That within itself is so impressive, and scored.
Yeah, right on it. Pretty crazy move there.
That height plays a role in it, Luke.
Another one off the net. Another one goes long. Off of a touch, though, so it's Virginia Tech point. I didn't pick that up in real time. I saw you looking over at the monitor. Maybe, I don't know if you did, but I didn't realize that they got a touch on that one.
I saw it. I saw it.
So an early advantage for the Hokies, a chance to close it out, and what would be a second ACC win of the season. In the middle. Finessed over. Great dig. Nicole Zake. Underneath the net, popped up toward the scorer's table. SU point. Look at that, giving everything. Nicole Zake, another freshman playing significant time this season. From Simi Valley, California, Southern California, and more than 360 kills in her senior season. It's a third serve that's grazed the net for the Orange. George can't handle. Virginia Tech takes a 3-2 lead.
I mean, right now, Pierce has 13 kills. She has the most kills on both sides of the net, and she's doing a great job capitalizing off of moments where she's able to get the ball for her team.
Palm just one behind her with 12. And now she ties her.
We're seeing a lot of those sharp cross attacks today, Luke, and it's working each time.
Have to wonder if that was a part of the game plan.
Maybe.
They're trying to exploit maybe some movement defensively for Virginia Tech.
You know, when you scout teams, you're able to see where they're weak, and maybe Tech is weak in an area in front of the 10-foot line.
It's worked in this third set, or fourth set rather, particularly. Onto the far side, and the whistle blows on the transition. Virginia Tech back on top. It's Pierce to serve. She already has 2 aces. Best on this Virginia Tech team. That one goes long.
Harris Waddy's behind the line now. You know, she does a great job with her serves as well.
That stat you just saw on the bottom of your screen, pretty outstanding. 11 service errors just to Syracuse's 3. Virginia Tech has given away points in that way. Syracuse has given away more points in the middle of plays. 5-4 edge for the Cuse. Here's Harris Waddy. Another one off the ribbon. Blocked down, Nikonakova in front. Denies this hokey attack.
There was only, there was 4 hands up, and I guess Pierce just wasn't able to see where they were, and Nikonakova got a big old chunk of that block.
Perfectly timed. Backside, middle for Palm. She saw in the middle of the court.
That also just came from a middle dig. Harris Waddy just got the dig for the set, and Palm was able to get a kill in the back row. She could do it all, front row and back row.
It's that versatility that you talked about earlier.
I love that word when it comes to volleyball players, versatility.
Right into the net. 4-point lead, SU doubling up the Hokies. And a timeout, Virginia Tech. Syracuse off to a good start in set number 4. Ava Palm making it happen.
Couldn't we just tell people, act like...
Shout out to all the members of our crew giving us fantastic shots. They've had plenty of reviews we've needed them for. Hopefully no more. It's Harris Waddy to restart things. 4-point lead for the Orange in set number 4. She sends a floater over and straight off the right elbow of Dulesky. So there's another point for the Cuse. They hang on to that momentum out of the timeout.
That's another floater right there. You can literally see how it moved to the right and went off her right shoulder.
Yeah, it looked like she was squared up perfectly for it. And then it turns over that right side. Harris Waddy has made it happen. And now blocked down by Nikonakova again. Unstoppable at the block.
It's perfect timing. Hands pressed over the net. She's come into this third. She started the third set, and in the fourth set now. She didn't play the first 2 sets, and her presence already in these 2 sets are doing so much for Syracuse.
Been really a feature presence. That time just gets off of a touch and goes down inside. So Virginia Tech gets one back. Floater in the middle. Far side, dished off and down. Right on the back line. Another kill for Belle Patrick. Patrick is now just 7 away from 200 kills on the season. Off the ceiling. Comes back down. Syracuse keeps it alive. Washakovska. And Syracuse picks up the point.
Sometimes when plays get so intense, as a player, you're so excited, you're hyped, and you're just getting too close to the net. You're either swiping on it, or when you're going up to block, your arms are hitting it. And that's the one thing when things do get intense in a game.
There's George on the near side. Up to the block, split in between. And Virginia Tech gets another one. "14 kills now for Haley Pierce. It's been a fantastic day for her. But Ava Palm matching her step for step on the other side. She's got 14 of her own.
And the most interesting about it is that Pierce, like we said, is a young volleyball player, and Palm is a very experienced grad student, and they're both doing what they have to do for their team. So the comparison and contrast is really interesting, to say the least.
Trying to find leaders for this Hokie team for the future. She's obviously one of them. Ava Palm has been leading for a little bit longer. She settled into this Syracuse team perfectly, though, in her first year.
She's just as skilled when she's in the back row to when she's in the front row. They find her each time for moments like that.
In the middle, there's Pierce. Set, and Leder Mula tried to take it over top the net in front. And a quick error.
I saw what she was trying to do. She just wasn't able to execute it.
Set for Palm, she executes. Straight back with another point for the Orange, up to 16 for number 6.
She got a full approach on that ball. Got it right above the block.
Pretty impressive when you see how well some of those attacks are timed. And now the Orange close to doubling up the Hokies. It's interesting how we've seen a little bit of a contrast. We've seen Syracuse not get off to a great start, and those closer matches, or sets I should say, have been Virginia Tech wins. But when the Orange have gotten off to a really good start and dominated, they've held on pretty well.
That's why it's so important to start off sets strong. Because look what happens when you do. You have the momentum, and then volleyball is a momentum game.
Yeah, no doubt. So a 5-point lead for the Orange. And Nicole Zake to serve. Palm. And no one got a touch on the way through. I think she just got that with the edge of her fingertips. So 14-10, Virginia Tech rolls on.
When balls like that fly out, hitters are not getting the snap on the ball with their wrist to put it down.
That one goes into the net for Zake. So back to the Orange with a 5-point lead and 10 to go to send us to a 5th. The Orange could pull out this one. Almost 2 hours into this match. Mueller to serve. In the middle and straight down. Nothing that Schlichter could do about it. Zaleski back in. They sub out Malinowski.
She was just able to go around Harris Wadi's hands and get that deep corner shot.
Zaleski serve. On the far side, palm, and it went out. Blocked down. Syracuse gets lucky. It lands on the left side of that line. 16-11 and up to 17 kills now for Ava Palm. She's back to serve. Set near side. Palm keeps it alive. Schlichter into the middle. Palm. You hear that communication right there. Drilled. The Orange win the point.
Pierce got a little bit of that antenna right there. That's why the ball was called out, but she doesn't think she did.
It was close on the way through, a little bit unclear, and I'm not sure if we just saw a challenge or not. We were blocked out from seeing it. Looks like no.
Yeah.
We're going to play on. Virginia Tech still has one challenge remaining. In the middle, Patrick.
Number 3, serving for Oakland.
Pierce still to serve. And sends it wide.
Virginia Tech with the Syracuse pass out of bounds.
Tech is slowly inching their way back up on the scoreboard. They're only down 4 points right now.
And it's been largely in part to the serving stretch from Haley Pierce. The lifeblood of this offense. That time, it's an error from Skylar George, the redshirt freshman.
I knew a timeout was going to come soon because right now they're just giving away free points to Tech. And like I said, they're inching their way up, and it's 15-17 right now.
Coach Bake has to burn his second timeout, trying to reset his squad here. And Ava Palm has just been fantastic from minute 1 of today's action. 17 kills for her, and it's really looked easy.
She always makes it look easy.
The timing, the power. We've talked about how we can hear a lot of those hits. You can hear it pop the mic there on the way through. And really just been a dominant force in the middle. Talked about her back row ability. There she is right at the net. Doesn't matter where she's at on the court. She's making plays.
Coach Byers for Virginia Tech said watching her is like watching an Energizer bunny. And that within itself says everything you need to know. She has so much energy. It looks like she never gets tired, truly, and she just goes for it each time.
Yeah, she has been something to watch today. The 8 digs as well. We talked about the versatility on defense. And Coach Bake trying to set his team up to finish off this fourth set. Oh, and someone's serving well, like a Pierce right now. Is there really anything you can do to get them off their stride?
No, I mean, there's not. You have to just be able to serve
win
a
the
seed.
point.
Yeah.
Let's see if the Orange can do that here. Here's the serve, kept alive, and the Orange can't do anything about it. Back within 2 now for the Hokies.
Serving is such a vital part of volleyball. It could literally like mess up so much stuff or be beneficial to so much stuff. And right now, they have the advantage over Syracuse because they're not able to pass Pierce's serves.
It's messing up stuff for Syracuse. George breaks the streak. That's what they needed. Now the Orange a 3-point lead and close to closing it out.
She was able to throw that ball down right in the middle of the court. No one was there. No bodies were dropped. It's an opportunity for Syracuse to capitalize off of that point and keep moving forward.
And SU has Harris Waddy to serve, who's been fantastic today. Dished left side, off the block, and off the bottom of the hand for Ava Paul.
Leandra Manuel Durant, number 17, serving in for the Hokies.
Finessed over by Nikonikova, and then brought down on the far side with the combination of Waszychowska. Eastern European duo at the net for the block.
The two of them together just put up a strong, big block. Two tall players, long arms, and being able to press over that net.
Nikonikova at 6'4" and Waszychowska at 6'1". That time it goes off the edge of the block. Virginia Tech makes it a 2-point game. Malinowski to check in. Walgren to serve. Far side, Nikonikova gets the Orange to 21st. Here's Skylar George.
We have Ava Palm back in the front row now. Like we said, we know she's a go-to hitter, so seeing her in the front row could be dangerous for Tech. You never know.
And another missed serve. Virginia Tech almost got a touch on that, just ducked out of the way at the last moment. Bell Patrick sends a low ball over top. Palm spins one away. And another point for the Orange. 2 away from 20 kills in back-to-back games for Ava Paul. She's hit her stride at the right time of the year.
Yeah, that within itself is so impressive. 20 kills, 20-plus kills for an outside attacker.
Schlichter, who struggled on the serve today. Another service error for her.
So honestly, the wrong moments to be missing serves when you're at scores like this so close. It's unfortunate.
Tough time for a miscue. Zake floats one out. So Syracuse gets another chance. Second life. 3 away. Leader Mueller to serve. Crucial points here toward the end of this 4th set. Set to the far side, and Pierce can't finish it. Syracuse gets the point. 1 away from sending us to a 5th.
That set was just so low, and it seemed like Pierce could have almost adjusted to that set, maybe roll shotted it over, tipped it over, but she hit it right into the bottom of the net.
I beg your pardon, they still need 2 more. 23-19. And that one into the net. Back-to-back service errors for the Orange. And goes back to Hokie serve. 23-20, a tight one. The Orange first win was a 25-16 victory back in set 2. They'll have to win a point off of Dulesky. Far side, Palm dribbles along the netting. Set to the middle for Patrick, spins one forward. Up on the near side, Waszynkowska out. So close, but Virginia Tech hangs on. A 2-point set. Waszynkowska.
Free ball.
And there's Pierce. Capitalizes on that free ball. Makes it a 1-point game.
There's also no more timeouts left right now for Syracuse. So in this moment, oh, there is.
Last timeout of the set.
I'm incorrect. My apologies. Well, perfect timing for that timeout.
Yeah, you called it. You knew that they needed one here. As we were ticking down toward the final moments, Syracuse doesn't have a set to lose here. All of a sudden, the reality that if they continue to bleed points, they're going to lose this game, lose this match. And right now, the Orange need to organize quickly, avoid those unforced errors that we've talked about all afternoon. But you get 2 chances on serve and 2 service errors. So now a 1-point game, 23-22 the lead for the Orange. At one point they led by 6. And just trying to close this one out. Coach Bake setting up the game plan. Need a calm attack.
That, as well as I just think it also starts off with serve receiving, honestly.
Yeah. Simple. Keep it simple and see what you can do. It's going to be Virginia Tech to serve. If they win the point, we'd be knotted at 23. There's Skylar George, who's been such a big part of the success that the Orange have had in the non-conference slate this season, and big part of coming back, winning that second set today. She's got 8 kills. All right, Zaleski back to serve. The freshman from Texas. Loops it over. George puts it up. Harris-Wadi floats one over the net. Middle, and Virginia Tech ties it. 2 away from a win.
I don't think that was the smartest idea for Harris-Wadi to tip on that ball, because they were able to get a perfect pass and set up their attackers to get a kill on that ball.
Now what can Zaleski do? Near side, palm blocked down, and Syracuse 1 away from sending us to a 5th set.
It's crunch time right now. Palm
can serve for the set. Virginia Tech fights on. Haley Pierce, a powerful swing, tied at 24.
Syracuse should have almost known that that ball was going to go to Pierce in this moment, and she was able to get a great attack and put that in the deep corner on Syracuse's side.
Now she's back to serve. Sends one long. In a crucial moment, gives SU another chance to serve for the set. Win by 2, of course, in effect. It's Harris-Wadi to serve. The set on the line. Patrick. Her attempt blocked. In the middle. George. Off the edge of a block. Back out in the middle. No one wants it, and it's a Syracuse point. We're going to a 5th. Day. Victoria Walgren to start us in the final race to 15. And immediately an ace. Quick start for the Hokies. Just what you want.
From once playing volleyball and being in a position where I'm in a 5th set match, it's so nerve-wracking, and when you don't go away with that win, it almost hurts because you worked so hard for it. So it really would be interesting to see how much time and work they put into this 5th set.
Well, you can see the extra energy, how fired up they are right now. The Orange knotted at 1. Greta Schlichter to start the service game for the Orange. Sends one over top, off to the far side. Patrick, rebound off the net, and Palm tried to bump it back, but Harris-Waddy just realized they had to take their medicine. 2-1 lead for VT early. Patrick to serve, it goes long. The service errors have loomed large for Virginia Tech. It's been one of the detriments to their attack. When they've had momentum and those service errors haven't been a problem, they've looked like a really dangerous team at times.
100%. When the errors really aren't an issue, those serves are lethal, and it has placed Syracuse in predicaments where they're not able to get serve received and points.
Sent right into the middle. Virginia Tech back on top, and we continue to go back and forth. A seesaw game.
There's a strong attack from the right side, right in between the block, and deep shot in the backcourt.
So it's been a rotation of players back there serving. Aisha Carrick now. First time that we've called her name today. In the middle, bumped out toward the stands on the right side here.
Serving the Palm, number 6.
Tied at 3, and it's Ava Palm to serve. Middle to the far side and down. Just continue to seesaw back and forth here in this 5th set. Not much separating these two squads. Haley Pierce, 19 kills, 1 away from 20. Harris-Waddy, some serious power in the middle.
It's crunch time, and you know who to go to when it comes for getting points on the board. Harris-Waddy is going to be there and in the air to attack and get a point.
Career high, double-digit kills for the first time for the sophomore.
I mean, we said earlier that she's probably going to get it, and she got it, Luke.
Yeah, get 2 matches to 5 sets, that certainly helps. Gives you some more chances, and Virginia Tech takes that one. So 10 away from a victory. We said it at the top of the broadcast, no matter which team wins this game today, it'll be a big-time win in the ACC. Teams that are searching for confidence, and adversely for the team that loses, it's a big blow.
Especially when you made it this far.
Konikova sends it over to the far side. Gets the point for Syracuse, step for step. Ashley Naw checks in. The freshman from outside Detroit. Games. George's attack is rebounded. Right back to the Orange. Set to George again. We roll on. No one in the middle. Miscommunication. The Orange take a 6-5 lead.
Yeah, that just can't happen right now, especially in 5th sets. You have to communicate, and if you can't get to the ball, you need to call for help. Setters have to do that when they can't get to it themselves.
Less than 10 points to work with. And Skylar George finds the line for the Orange. 7-5. Double-digit kills for George.
She was up and she was ready, and she threw that ball right down.
In the middle, Nikonikova up to the block. She was thinking about going earlier. George again. Bounced back towards her off the block. VT gets one back. There's a pinball-like action to that ball after she swung at it.
It wasn't an all-the-way smart swing right there. It was a low set. It was tight, almost like a trap, and she just hit it too low into the hands of the blockers.
Near side. That time she executes. A little bit of swagger.
Oh, yeah.
She's fired up.
She's hype, Luke. She's hype. That's the best feeling after you get blocked in a match or in a set, and then you're able to get a kill right after. It's an amazing feeling.
The two squads switch sides halfway through. And Syracuse bringing all the stuff over to the bench on this side. So the Orange ahead by 2, halfway through the 5th set. Pivotal timing. This is when everything matters more. You talked about how they have to cut down on errors on both sides of the ball. Really try to pull away late in this final set. Teams regrouping, figuring out that game plan here. Virginia Tech look ahead for their schedule. Tough tests, SMU and Pitt. Virginia back-to-back. Those are all teams that are either ranked or receiving votes. So we already talked about how important it is to pick up wins when you have the chance and what it's like to be in this 5th set, but it's hard to imagine that they're going to have many chances to pick up wins going forward with that schedule.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule. It's teams that are ranked right now, but these games are going to be on their home court. So having Pitt and SMU come to their home court, either that could be great to have your fans there and support for you, or it could be hard because it's a tough match.
Skylar George, who just finished off that last point, is back to serve for the Orange. She's had a spotty day service-wise. She's been good when she's been on, but several errors as well. Her first year in Orange. That one was all you could ask for. Touched over top. Palm can't get to it.
Victoria Walgren serving now for the Hokies.
Walgren to serve. Leading assister on this team. More than 1,000 of them last year. It's up, far side palm, blocked down, but out of bounds. And Syracuse 6 away from its first ACC win in what would be more than 2 years.
And now we have Harris Waddy back in the front row on the court with Palm. That right there is a dynamic duo for Syracuse.
In the middle, and George got to it, but couldn't keep it in play. Virginia Tech not going to go away quietly.
She went right around Harris Waddy's block and was able to put it down. Defensively, the players couldn't get it.
Patrick's serve. Another one of those low burners. She's loved to go to that today. Set in the middle, blocked by Harris Waddy. Set back down, Harris Waddy again, and it just play pepper around the net with it. George, Harris Waddy. Set far side, and toward the bench, it was knocked up. Looked like it was Shimau who actually got underneath it, but then it just drifted further toward the stands. And we are tied at 9. Coach Bake is in there, though. Not sure what he'd be asking about here.
Might be a net call, or yeah, I'm not sure, Luke.
Well, he's sorting something out with The ground official, Stephen Webster.
He clearly looks frustrated.
Yeah, he's back over to the bench now. We're going to play right on. Quick serve over top from Patrick. Palm on the attack. Into the middle. And an errant hit. Just got the side of the ball, but Syracuse was ready for the full service. And Coach Bake takes a timeout, down 1 in this final set. The Orange are close. Virginia Tech, though, they've battled adversity all day, really. And they've won the battle of attrition in those closer matches. And trying their best today to close this one out late.
They definitely want that second win in the ACC, Luke, and they're doing everything they can to be able to get that. Pierce has been doing a great job with her defense and attacking, as well as Patrick.
Picked up the one ACC win of the season against Clemson back at the beginning of October. Haley Pierce has been the driving force for this offense today. 19 kills. She got 2 service aces as well.
We knew coming into this game that she is their go-to hitter, and she's going to do everything she can to help Tech out. But as you can see, even going to the 5th set, she's still that person, and back row and front row, she gets it done every time.
Well, that's been the most impressive thing to me, is how she can really make an impact from any position. Does not matter where she's at or what she's doing. And she's just been really good.
This is what makes her a really great player. I mean, she could do it from anywhere on the court.
Right, and just a sophomore as well. Scary to think about what she could be doing in 2 years.
That, as well as she didn't even play her whole first year of college, and now she's just shining and trying to catch up for all those moments she missed.
Bell Patrick back to serve again. Virginia Tech 5 away from victory, but we're tied at 10. Schlichter and Waszykovska back in. Veronica Searzant to serve. Goes down line. Bump back up for Pierce. And that one catches the back line. A huge point for Virginia Tech late.
Point Virginia Tech.
Coach Bake challenges.
I think that ball was in. But in a lot of circumstances, coaches pull the challenge card in the 5th set just to do it, to slow everything down. I feel like he knows it was in as well, but that's just what I'm thinking. I could be wrong.
Seems like the momentum has been going against the Orange a little bit here in this 5th set.
Call on the court was point Virginia Tech. Syracuse is challenging that the ball was out.
And it almost serves as an extra timeout as well.
It's exactly why they do it sometimes.
Knowing that you can get a little bit of a break, maybe break up some of the Virginia Tech momentum, and if the call happens to get overturned, then you've got the lead in this game. Get another look at it right here.
Yeah, that was
pretty clearly in.
It was so in.
So I think this is probably going to be a pretty quick review.
Even the players on the court, like I saw Georgia's face, she knew it was in. That's why she didn't even try to fight it. So could be a game plan. Should just be able to talk to his team.
Get a chance to look things over and see if there's any possibility of it getting overturned, but it looked pretty clear cut. And that one blocked out by Georgia's leg a little bit. And this is really the perfect view, and you can see right there where it bounces. Great looks all over the court from inside the women's building. We've needed them today. Coach Bake's squad likely going to be down 1 with only 4 points to spare.
It's crunch time.
A long match as well, encroaching on 2.5 hours now.
Call is confirmed, point Virginia Tech.
And there you go. Call confirmed. So that means there was conclusive video evidence and they got the call right. I think that we certainly agree with that here. Aisha Carrick now to serve.
This is the moment right here to be able to serve, receive, to get a pass on this ball and tie it up with Virginia Tech.
Lefty serve, floats over the top. Palm gets to it, goes in the middle to Harris Waddy, and Virginia Tech can't keep it alive. 11-11. Zaria Harris Waddy made the play. Quick substitution from the Hokies. Ava Palm to serve. Near side, Pierce. Good dig from Palm. George, up top. In the middle. Set from Searzant. And there's Harris Waddy.
Good, great job from Syracuse being able to capitalize off of that free ball given to them by Virginia Tech.
You couldn't ask for much more right now. Tensions are high.
Putting it right back in the hands of Harris Waddy so she could get the job done for the team.
Palm, such a good chance here to capitalize. In the middle, spun off a block, 12-12. It's gonna go right down to the end here.
It's gonna be a tight one for sure, Luke.
That's been the way it's been, really outside of that second set where Syracuse had a 9-point win. It's been tight all the way. Harris Waddy again, she gets another one.
That set was a low set from Searzant, but Harris Waddy was able to figure it out and just tip it in the middle of the court and be successful off of that tip.
Yeah, the energy she has provided today. And now back to serve. 2 points away from the first ACC win. Not yet, though. Textbook attack.
Pierce was smart for that placement. I mean, the middle's back row, and she placed it right on that line, knowing that Harris Waddy probably wasn't going to get that ball.
It's the same thing that we've seen from Pierce all day. Washikowska, good chance for the Orange, kept alive, blocked at the net, goes to George, she got it! One away.
That's a great line shot right there. They were not ready for it. Caught Pierce off guard, and she just wasn't able to pick it up.
Ashley Nah to serve for the match. For the first time in 31 tries, the Orange defeat Virginia Tech on a Sunday afternoon.
That was an amazing set. Skylar George being able to end that set off a line